Welcome back, summer mathematicians. It's me, Miss Cordova, and I'm here again to teach you, well, I guess not to teach you a game this time, but to talk about story problems and discuss some different ways to solve them. But before we do that, I have another silly joke for you. This time it's a math one. Ready? Are monsters good at math? Not unless you count Dracula. Get it, Count Dracula? I hope you thought it was funny. I thought it was pretty funny. You should tell it to someone else and see if they can get it. Anyways, today for math, we are going to be doing some story problems. Now you have a piece in your packet that's called Comparing Pebbles. Comparing Pebbles. And you can see that in Comparing Pebbles, it's giving you information at the beginning, and then there are 4 problems to solve. So before I walk through one of the problems with you, I want to talk to you about the way that the students in my class like to do story problems. First, we really think about the problem. We picture what's happening. We might close our eyes and visualize it. We might ask ourselves, what are the numbers? What's going on? And we might even put ourselves in that situation. Sometimes we even act it out and pretend to be actors. After we think and visualize the problem, we think about the numbers. Think about the units and the quantities. Units is a word that means what is being counted. So we think about what here is being counted. We also think about what are the numbers. What are the numbers of what's being counted? After that, we start to think about what math problem is actually going to need to be solved in order for us to complete the work. Okay? Now, as we're working through them, we also have different strategies for solving those problems. I really like to use objects. You might like to draw pictures. You might also like to use number lines, hundreds charts, anything like that in order to help you do the math. So, to get ready for these problems, you're going to need a pencil, of course your paper that's called Comparing Pebbles, and you're going to need whatever it is that you might need extra to do the work, whether it's objects, a number line, a hundreds grid. Go ahead and get what you need, and then I'm going to talk about the first problem with you. Okay, so first let's just talk about what's happening in this story. If it's helpful, go ahead and close your eyes to visualize. Arvin, Tiana, Sydney, and Elijah went to the beach to collect pebbles. Arvin collected 13 pebbles. Tiana collected 18 pebbles. Sydney collected 15 pebbles. Elijah collected 9 pebbles. So right now I'm picturing 4 kids who are at the beach, and they're all collecting different numbers of pebbles. Thinking about how some of those pebbles might be big, small, and different colors. But now I'm starting to wonder, what are some math questions that I will be asked about what's happening in this story? So let's read on. Arvin said, Sydney and I collected more pebbles together than Tiana and Elijah together. Is Arvin right? Explain using words, pictures, and or numbers. So let's think about that. Arvin said, Sydney and I collected more pebbles together than Tiana and Elijah together. Sydney and I. So for this one, I think it's saying that Sydney and Arvin collected a number of pebbles, and Tiana and Elijah collected some together, and we have to figure out if Arvin is right. Think about how you might set up that problem. Remember, it says explain using words, pictures, and or numbers. That means if you say yes or no, you have to explain your thinking with some words, pictures, or numbers. That way, anybody that's looking at your work is going to know how you solved it, and then they're going to understand your thinking and your answer. Okay, go ahead and work on problem 1 and continue on to 2, 3, and 4. Afterwards, we're going to talk a little bit about how you might check your work. Now pause the video and try some math problems on your own. When you're done, come back to the video and we'll talk about it. Did you find a strategy that worked really well for you? I find that I like to use a mix of different ones each time, and that sometimes I use one to start and then one later to check my work. I want you to look at what I did for question 1 and let me know what you think. Here's my work for question 1. I came out to thinking that yes, Arvin and Sydney did collect more. Do you think I did a nice job of showing my thinking in this picture? Could somebody looking at my work be able to figure out how I got my answer? Now I want you to look at your work and ask yourself the same question. If someone who didn't talk to me about the problem before I did it, if they came back and wanted to see how I solved it, would they be able to figure it out? It's important to explain your thinking because then, as mathematicians, you can think through your strategies, be able to explain your thinking, and teach someone else about it. Those are really smart skills to have. Go ahead and double check, look over your work, and then we're going to see each other again soon. Bye, mathematicians.